Hello everyone and welcome back. Hope we're all having an incredible day and we're all doing well. This is going to be my tier list of the NIGHTHAVEN operators in Rainbow Six Siege. As you see with any R6 tier list on YouTube, these are the opinions of the content creator themselves and you may disagree with them, which is fine. And I will be explaining my reasons for where these operators actually go in this tier list. And the comment section is open for discussion whether you agree or disagree. Now a quick rundown for you guys who don't know, NIGHTHAVEN is the private military organization which did work with Team Rainbow but has since left. When they did break apart from Team Rainbow, some Rainbow operators themselves actually quit Team Rainbow to join NIGHTHAVEN, and this was the formation of what we know as the current NIGHTHAVEN Squad up to and including Solo Raid. So jumping straight into this, we're just going to go along the list starting from Ace at the front. This one might not be a surprise, but I think Ace is an S tier operator. I think the AK-12 is an absolutely phenomenal weapon, especially with the 1.5x scope equipped on it. It hits hard, it has low recoil, it's extremely easy to use. It's one of the best weapons in the game, and also Ace is a hard breacher, which is one of the most vital roles in the game. And yes, there are alternatives such as Thermite, Hibana, Maverick, the secondary hard breach charge, but Ace just excels at the job. The only thing he isn't amazing at is getting hatches. He can only grab one hatch where Thermite can grab 2, Hibana can grab 4, and any operator of the secondary hard breach charge can open 2 hatches. So when it does come to hatches, Ace is the worst at the job for that. However, he excels at breaching walls from range and safety. He is amazing for countering a bandit trick as well, especially paired with an operator that has an EMP secondary grenade, because if bandit is bandit tricking a double wall, if you EMP both of the bandit batteries and throw an ace charge on either wall, bandit does not have enough time to get both walls. He can only focus on one, meaning that you are at least going to open one of the hard walls. No other hard breacher does this with the same efficiency. Maverick does creep into that territory however, but he does take much longer and it is more dangerous. So yes, Ace is an easy S tier operator. He's easy to pick up for new players and to frag as well. One of the best additions we ever got to this game. Next up we have Aruni. I am also going to be placing her in S tier. Aruni is one of my most played, if not my most played defenders in the game for the past year now. For starters, she has Dokubi's DMR on defense with a 1.5x scope. If you know me, you know I absolutely adore DMRs in Rainbow Six Siege. I think they are an underrated gem. I think people slept on DMRs for years the same way they slept on LMGs until they become meta, and I wouldn't be surprised if more people are going to be starting using DMRs. But mixing a strong DMR of a 1.5x scope with Aruni's passive ability, which means that she can make rotates and line of sights for free, and when I say free, I mean that she doesn't need to use a shotgun, which has limited ammo, especially with the new reload system coming next season in Operation Commanding Force, where bullets are going to be even more scarce and valuable. She does it with her fist, which has no recharge, it has no limitations. You can make as many holes as possible, meaning that you can experiment very easily and make really nice tight angles. The fact she has a DMR paired with that means there is less room for mistakes because DMRs have less recoil. If you're making an extremely tight angle and you've not got the best aim, using a fully automatic weapon, a lot of your shots will be hitting the door frame and other objects. It's not going to be going through that tight angle like you want it to. Whereas with a DMR, it's not got a lot of kick, it's not got a lot of recoil, you got to land 3 shots at most and you've killed the enemy. Not to mention her amazing gadget as well, which can slow down attackers' pushes. They have to waste utility on it as well. It is a sound indicator to let you know that someone is pushing that way even if they disable the gate. And I know a lot of people seen it as a nerf when she got changed to a 1 speed from a 2 speed, but I actually saw this as a buff because with the additional armor she can take 1 more bullet, and you're meant to be anchoring and holding tight passive angles with Aruni anyway, so being able to take another bullet whilst playing a tight angle is a buff in my opinion, and she also has bulletproof cameras. Aruni is one of the most underrated and best defenders in Rainbow Six Siege, guys. If this video teaches you anything, just run into a custom game or like a quick match or something and just try your best to find unique cool angles and use her DMR, and I guarantee you when you go into a ranked match you're going to catch a lot of people off guard. Right, so next up we have Ella, and honestly I don't know really where to put her. She has been changed to a 2-2 defender. Her gadget is good, don't get me wrong, it's good at indicating where people are, it concusses them, it's really annoying to hit one of them as an attacker. You are at a significant disadvantage if you're concussed by an Ella mine. You can also kind of just get these same things out of Thorn, for example. She indicates when someone is passing one of her gadgets. She has an arguably better weapon, has way less recoil than the Scorpion. It's also lethal as well if someone is in its blast radius. I'd say Legion's kind of in this same boat as well. He has a lethal gadget. It's not as lethal as Thorn's, but it's extremely annoying. It once again puts the attacker at a disadvantage because they do have to pull out the goo mine. He also does have the T5 SMG, which is one of my favorite guns in the game as well. If someone has a goo mine in the foot, they also cannot plant the diffuser, which is extremely strong. Ella's concussion also can take someone off the planting animation as well, so that is strong. So don't get me wrong, I do really like Ella as an operator. I think she is good. I just think that Legion and Thorn are just better at doing the same job that Ella can do. So yeah, I'm pretty happy and content putting her in C tier. Now next up we have Finka, and honestly I think she is a B tier operator. She does have the spear, which is a pretty great weapon. I do like running that on Thunderbird more than I actually do on Finka. However, at this point, running the spear on Finka is the only viable option. The shotgun isn't really that viable unless you're kind of just messing around in like an unranked or casual. The LMG, at least on PC, has quite a lot of recoil and I don't find it very viable to run, so the spear is her kind of only viable weapon if you want to take it seriously. Of course, she did lose nades and the LMG was nerfed, but I still do think she is in a great position because she does still have the gun 6, which is absolutely great. But the fact that she is the only healer on attack still makes her extremely viable in my opinion. You could argue that she is A tier. I think I am going to keep her in B tier for now because I feel like that just fits her in her current state because she is more balanced than she was. But in the current meta, I don't think she is as vital to bring as she was a few seasons ago because you'd seen a Finka every single match. So yeah, Finka is still an amazing operator. She's the only healer on attack. I just don't think she is as vital to bring to the team as she was a few seasons ago, but that may change in the future. Okay, next up we have Grim. Is this going to be a surprise to anyone? Grim is D tier. He is without a doubt the worst operator we've ever received in Rainbow Six Siege post-launch. His gadget is a worse version of Capitao, not to mention he brings less utility than Capitao. You could say that his gadget's good for utility burning, but then I'd also argue that Sam Fisher is better at that job because Sam Fisher has 4 cameras, Grim has 4 pellets, Sam Fisher's got just as good a gun as the Commando, and Sam Fisher's cameras are way more useful if you actually get them to land than a Grim pellet. He is a more complicated and worse version of a drone. Yeah, so Grim is just awful, there's nothing good to say about him. Giving him the 1.5x scope and 2x scope on the Commando doesn't really change anything. You can put a Lamborghini badge on a dumpster, but at the end of the day, it's still a dumpster. Right, next up we have IQ, and you guys actually might be quite surprised about this one, but I'm going to put her in A tier. Just like Grim, her Commando got buffed with the extended barrel changes, making it one of the strongest guns on attack. She's a 3-speed, which is a positive for a lot of players. And in a time where there has never been more utility on defense, her gadget is extremely useful at showing where that utility is for the defenders, where Valk cams are, Echo cameras, Maestro cameras, Bulletproof cameras, Electra claws, where Solace is playing with her headset on, where a Pulse is playing below, where any hacked Mozzie cameras are. She's an amazing intel operator for the attacking team, and she can literally show you where 90% of defender gadgets are, the only exception being operators such as Frost. Next up we have Kali, and I'm going to put Kali in C tier. So Thatcher is the most banned attacker in Rainbow Six Siege, and he has been for years now. In an attempt to make an alternative to Thatcher, they released Kali with a gadget which will destroy any item on the other side of the wall you shoot it at. Really good gadget, makes a lot of sense, and it works well. The only issue is they gave her a bolt action sniper in a close quarter combat game. This diminished the viability of Kali by so much, because listen, even to this day, I shoot people and they don't even die with Kali's sniper. I don't know if I have the clip saved anymore, but if I do, it will be on screen. I was playing on ruins on coastline and a Jaeger runs out on VIP balcony. I shot this Jaeger in the upper torso with a bolt action sniper and it put him to 2 HP, and he managed to land a headshot on me before I could even shoot another bullet. So when you've already got the issue of having a bolt action sniper in a close quarter combat game, then you have many times where it doesn't even one-shot kill person. It makes it one of the most useless and worst guns in the game. And yes, I know that she does have a strong secondary SMG, it's still an SMG secondary with a low magazine. So unless she actually gets a proper primary weapon, I can't see myself moving her any higher on this list, especially now that EMP nades are secondary gadgets and can kind of do the same job, although they disable and not destroy. And speaking of EMP nades, we are going to be moving on to Osa now, who is one of my favorite attackers in this game. She's absolutely phenomenal, easy S tier operator for me. She has absolutely incredible guns, her gadget is game changing, you can take so much control with her gadget. Let's say for example you take Sunrise on coastline, you clear it out, you push any or kill any defenders which are playing it, you place a shield down in the middle of the room, and now you have an oppressive angle all the way into kitchen hallway where defenders are going to be playing in sight, and you can play aggressive on your shield, which is going to be protecting you since it's bulletproof. Not to mention that Osa has EMP nades, so it makes her even more of a viable pick if you're trying to hard breach a wall. She's a safe pick that brings so much utility to the team, and if you're an experienced Osa player like I am, you can be extremely extremely oppressive on the enemies, and easily take control and win the round. Osa is phenomenal. So next up we have Pulse, and I'm going to put Pulse in B tier. I think Pulse is an all-round great operator. His UMP now has the 1.5 times scope, which is actually really good. Of course, he has his nitrocell. That's how you play Pulse in Rainbow Six Siege. You use his scanner and hopefully try and nitrocell someone through a floor or a wall. He's one of the oldest and easiest plant denial operators in the game. Bringing a Pulse gives the attackers something to worry about and gives them an extra job, which means they have to clear you out, which can be used to waste time on the attacker's parts, which is a massive thing because attackers need as much time as possible to win the round. So we all know how to play Pulse by this point. He's just good at what he does. It gives the attackers something they have to do because they have to clear you out if they want to go for a plant. But he isn't overly aggressive, he isn't overly strong, he's just good at what he does. So I think B tier is a nice little spot for him. Next up we have Smoke, and he is going to be our last S tier operator. I think Smoke is one of the headline defenders of any strong defending setup. He has plant denial, he has area denial. If someone's in a corner, you can smoke them out and push them into a vulnerable position. Not to mention he has a shotgun, which is good for killing people, but it's also good for making rotates and line of sights as well. He has the SMG secondary as well, which is extremely strong and good for long range battles. And of course he does have the deployable shield as well, which he will commonly play behind. Smoke brings a lot to the team. He is a very headline defender that you'll see in a lot of pro stacks as well. I was actually watching some pro league the other day and I actually did see a Smoke ban in one of the ban phases, which is really interesting. So yeah, when you think of a solid good defender, you think of Smoke, and there's no better place to put him than S tier. Okay, so the final Nighthaven operator we have to put on this list is Wamai, and he is going to be put in A tier. He is the only major Jaeger alternative in the game. He can stop some things which Jaeger can't, such as Gridlock's track stingers and Capital's flaming bolts. But the major difference is Jaeger destroys these gadgets, Wamai only pulls them away into a little different direction. Doesn't mean he's bad, but Jaeger and Wamai do have their each unique uses and different ways they can be played. But at the end of the day, being the primary alternative to Jaeger, it does make him extremely strong. I just don't think he should be in the same boat as the other S tier operators on this, so I think A tier is a really nice position for him. He's not oppressively strong, but he does his job extremely well. And so guys, that is my tier list of the Nighthaven operators in Rainbow Six Siege. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with me. I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts, so be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike it if you did not, subscribe if you're new. I shall catch you all later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.